Welcome to Hollywood Hoops, Laid Back Reaction. I'm Josh Martin of Lonzo Wire. He's Eric Pincus of Basketball Insiders and Bleacher Report. And today's episode of Hollywood Hoops, Laid Back Reaction wouldn't be possible without High Five. Not only is High Five a sponsor of the show, but today's video podcast is actually being recorded using High Five video conferencing.
That's right. High Five makes meetings awesome with insanely simple video conferencing designed for your meeting rooms. It's the easiest to use with an all-in-one hardware and intuitive cloud software, delivering a high-quality video conferencing experience, including industry-leading audio powered by Dolby Voice. It's so easy to use that there's no PIN codes, no app downloads, just click a link in your browser and you're in the meeting. Even the least techie person of your company can figure it out.
Plus, at a fraction of the cost of traditional systems, you can put High Five in every meeting room, not just the boardroom, and with its per-room pricing instead of per user, it scales easily and predictably with your company. No more sharing logins or restricting video collaboration and screen sharing to just special people in your organization. You get unlimited users, unlimited meetings, and unlimited minutes. So the more you use it, the better the value.
With customers in over 100 countries, High Five is already trusted by the likes of Warby Parker, Harry's, Betterment, and the Girl Scouts of Northern California. To learn more and start your 30-day free trial of insanely simple video conferencing, visit highfive.com. That's highfive.com. And there we have it. We have a little live read. We have a sponsor. Thanks for going through that with us. And seriously, check out their software because it's very cool. But Josh, we're here to talk about the Lakers mostly today. Specifically, the Thursday night win, national game in Philadelphia. What were your takeaways of the Lakers over the Philadelphia 76ers?
You know, everybody talks about the process in Philadelphia. I think what we saw was the progress for the Lakers. When you compare where they were at earlier in the season to where they are now, you can see they've even grown by leaps and bounds. You know, we saw even just last weekend when the Lakers were in Denver, they controlled the game for the most part throughout. Last 4 minutes, they got tired, they fell apart, they lost the game. Here against Philly, they were in control for most of the game. They lost the lead down the stretch, but they made the plays they had to make, both offensively and especially defensively, to hang on and give themselves a chance to win at the end of the game. You know, Julius Randle, I thought, did a nice job learning it from his last experience against Joel Embiid, where he scored 46 points. And, you know, Embiid still went off for 33 against the Lakers, but that's a significant improvement there. Progress in my mind, and then certainly progress from Lonzo. And he talked about this after the game, where he said earlier in the season he would have taken that last shot, that last opportunity that he had on the final possession the Lakers had in the game. But instead, he drove baseline, sucked in the Sixers defense, kicked it out to Brandon Ingram, who was wide open, and knocked down the three. So I think in so many different ways, this is sort of a milestone win for the Lakers. Not just that it was on the road and wasn't against the Phoenix Suns, because the only other two road wins they had were in Phoenix, but also that it showed in some very specific areas that they are coming along and they're finding their way, however unsteadily.
Right. This is not a straight lineup, and they lost 5 in a row. They had a great game against the Warriors that they had a chance to win. In most of these games, they've had a chance to win. The Nuggets game in particular, they fell apart. But that's what a young team does. They're still learning. This is not a team that should be expecting to win a title this year. So it's about that progress. And so Luke had told Lonzo, get the last shot. Let's not rush it. Lonzo had the breakaway, and he could have pulled up and shot with about 8 seconds left, give or take. Instead, gave it to Brandon. Brandon gave it back to Lonzo. Lonzo drove, and as you said, he sucked in the defense, kicked it out. They got the shot up and off, and Philly got it back with about 0.8 left. So really didn't have time. They got Rashawn Holmes to heave a three, which is exactly, if you're the Lakers, what you want. So you can point and say, okay, the Lakers had a double-digit lead. They fell apart. They let it go. And all that's true, but you're playing in Philadelphia. The confidence is a little shook because they've lost 5 in a row. The Sixers are really, really good, and they're still, like the Lakers, trying to figure it out. They're still very young, and they still make mistakes. But Embiid went to work down at the end. Randle took him on and got the stop when he needed it most. And then the Lakers finished it off. It's not a teams are going to make runs, and these teams are either equal or better than the Lakers. I thought the end of game lineup was interesting. They used Larry Nance and Julius Randle together, along with Ingram and I think KCP and Lonzo, and it worked. But the most important piece, I think, is long term. Let's say that the Lakers do build around Ingram and Lonzo. You want to see Lonzo with the game-winning assist, and you want to see Ingram with that game-winning basket, whether it's a three or a drive or anything. And it was a beautiful shot, and it was a big win for the Lakers.
Yeah, it was like visions of the future, seeing Lonzo kicking out to Ingram. This is the future for the Lakers. It's happening now, and hopefully we'll see it, at least Lakers fans, at least will see it more frequently over the course of time here. And it's really important that the Lakers were able to pull this one out, because you talked about confidence. They had that 5-game slide. This was the first game of a tough 4-game Eastern Conference road trip. They play in Charlotte on Saturday. Then they're at the Knicks, the New York Knicks, on Tuesday, which you assume gives them a little bit of time in New York City to go out, have some fun, do the New York thing, and you hope that doesn't wear on them once they get on the court at the Mecca. And then Thursday, they're at Cleveland playing the Cavaliers. LeBron James, first matchup between him and Lonzo Ball. You know, those last 2 games at New York and at Cleveland are national TV games as well. So the spotlight will be on, but it seems like, at least for now, the Lakers are back on a better foot. Lonzo's Cavs are feeling better, and we'll see how they look Saturday in Charlotte. But you have to take the wins where you can get them, and if you're the Lakers, and certainly this should, it seems, get the ball rolling in the right direction, as long as they build off of the positives and really continue to address the negatives going forward.
Right, like you said, they haven't been a good road team yet, and they've had some difficult challenges trying to win in difficult places. But Charlotte is a game where the Hornets are inconsistent. And so, yeah, they're dangerous, and the Lakers are probably not the favorite, but I think that's a game that's not a lock either way. New York, they're without Tim Hardaway Jr. He's hurt. Obviously, you're playing against Porzingis, and he's a real challenge, but it's not out of bounds that the Lakers could win 3 in a row. Now, I don't expect them to. I don't expect them to win in Cleveland. If they can finish this road trip, this part of the road trip, 2-2, right? And then don't they come home and then play the Warriors, right, or something like that? So then they go back out on the road. The rest of the year, basically through the end of 2017, their schedule is brutal.
Yeah.
And if they can get to 2018 alive, then the schedule from the rest of the year, it's really a lot easier. And I don't want to say it's easy, but easier. And so, no, they're not in the playoffs. They're about 3 games back out of 8. I don't think they're going to make a run. The Oklahoma City Thunder I expect at some point to climb into the top 8. Maybe Denver drops out. Someone drops out for Oklahoma City. I don't see 2 teams dropping out and making room for the Lakers. But other teams get hurt. Other teams slump. And if the Lakers can hang in there and get a few wins, then maybe they're in range. And I think I don't know if they need to make the playoffs. I think that's kind of a goal that's out of reach. Not entirely, not mathematically. But if they can be at least within 5-6 games and have that experience of trying to make a playoff run, even a failed playoff run, I think that's good for these young guys. The development, I think, will really show come February, come March, come April, and I think they're going to close the season strong. They just have to get through this stretch of schedule, which is as brutal as they come. In the first test, playing in Philadelphia, they get an A.
Yeah, it's like we started with in this progress. It's about progress for the Lakers, progress from last season to this season, progress from month to month, progress from game to game. And I think the next step will be winning back-to-back road games, which the Lakers haven't done all year. And if, as you say, they have a good shot to win at Charlotte and at New York, and then they end up winning 3 in a row, that would be the Lakers' first 3-game win streak of the season. So there's a lot that can be done here, a lot of progress that's already been made, a lot more still to be made for the Lakers. We'll be tracking all of it, Eric and I, on Hollywood Hoops, and of course here on the Laid Back Reaction presented by High Five. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to joining you again soon.
He's on his way, going to Hollywood, he's busting into Hollywood.